Oké, ik wil eerst testen nog goede audio. Test, test, test. Test, test, test. Yeah, okay, let's try that again. And remember, talk slowly and with. Oh, that's very loud. Anyway, I should have. I think that's a bit better. Anyway, let's talk about Cottagecore and why I think it's really good. Actually, I mean, now I'm mainly talking about stories and stories that are about well, like movies or like. I'm mainly talking about movies and TV shows that are like have a cottage core. God damn it, cottage core feel to it, or like slice of life, what you call it. I mean, I used to call it slice of life. I mean, I'm not talking about the culture of cottage core. I'm mainly talking about. I'm mainly talking about. I mean, about series that have cottagecore aesthetics to them, or have or a slice of life feel to them, like Anne of the Green Gables, Heidi of the Alps. I also mainly talking about cartoons, like Moomins. So I'm mainly talking about cartoons actually, because that's what I'm familiar with. But anyway, yes, I guess one of the main components of cottagecore or slice of life is that it usually has a less is more vibe to it. I mean, which can hold on, less is more. Yes, I feel like that can be a very strong component. Yeah, I mean, I usually like when if you ask me, the best shows are the ones that are willing to take less and make more out of it. I mean, yeah, I put this, yeah, I mean, again, the college core, maybe I should explain a college core or slice of life, what it actually is. I mean, well, I was going to say slice of life for now on, but the thing is, it's mainly about usually a mundane setting that like maybe like living on a mountain or living with your parents or living with a or adopting mostly like usually like more mundane things like yeah and the growing pain and dealing with the growing pains of mundane things like maybe like dealing with a nasty neighbor or maybe losing a pet or going to school or yeah again I usually well at least the one now watches has more of a grounded feel to it like a sense of groundedness now not maybe not exclusive like more like Alfred J. Kwok that's more like comedic but why won't you die anyway again usually college core or slice of life usually lack major conflict like I mean action or they usually lack major conflict like yeah, again like action and but also like a major villain needs to be stopped like a lot of yeah villains or if you want to call it that yeah, villains or like I guess I guess call them villains but how do I put this most well villains are usually again a lot more mundane like maybe like a snooty neighbor or something like that or like I mean usually their motivation is more very simplistic like yeah again it's more like again mundane and then guess what I guess that college core can't always rely on extremes like I mean, the settings are again it's usually more mundane, like a city or like a mountain or yeah, or yeah, again, or like living with a lot of parents, yeah, and it's more about the simple growing pains, or heck, or just or heck, or a lot of cases just again, how do I put this? I don't have much. Fuck. Again, more like simple things that. Sometimes it can just be like having a walk in the forest and having the characters talk about things. It doesn't have to be like a doesn't have to be like a I don't know, major character development. I mean, it allows. I feel like it just allows to let things simmer. I mean, at least the ones that I watch, like I mean, can it just be like I don't know, visiting grandma or something like that, and just talk about simple things like yeah. I mean, yeah, like like in Kiki's delivery service, like oh, I have this old oven that bakes yeah makes bakery, yeah. And they just let again Cottagecore allows yeah things simmer, yeah. And at least the one that I watch. Again, what else? Again, second of all, yeah. Here's another thing, like even like I'm going to stick with cartoons for now because that's what I'm familiar with. Like, I mean, take for instance like more action-driven shows like Shiro and the Owl House. The things that people tend to praise is like the again the character development or like the character interactions. Sure, there's action and drama and heavy conflict, but what people tend to stick with is again is the character interactions, like how the characters develop over time, like how they interact with each other. That is what people tend to talk about when they praise Shiro or the Owl House. And you know what? Cottagecore were usually lacking major conflict. Like, yeah, again, usually lacking major conflicts. Again, of not, it just allows the characters to let, again, the fact that it doesn't always have to like major conflicts, it just allows the characters just to, I guess, breathe. I mean, yeah, let things simmer. Like now shows like Heidi and the Green Anne of Green Gables. I mean, I guess one of its biggest strengths is that it allows to be a massive. Usually has a very slow burn feel to it, which I really like. I mean, it allows to, the characters simmer. Like I mean, like I mean, there's a lot of Cottagecore, like Anne of Green Gables and Heidi of the Alps. It also often sticks with a few locations. I mean, which might be a bad thing because it lacks variety, but I think the biggest strength is that having more locations isn't necessarily a good thing. Like because having like a few locations, it again once again allow things to more simmer. Like it allows to sink in. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like Heidi has his like a mountain hut at the mountain, or like yeah, or like visiting the blind grandma, or having like the hills where the ghosts go through. Like yeah, it often reuses those locations, but again, having a location that are overused, I guess again allows to be yeah, how put this again simmer, like yeah, maybe more allows to be more familiar with it, like yeah, and I like that. I mean, well, yeah, sure. And it doesn't mean that Cottagecore is without drama. It usually has drama, like I mean, like for instance, like Kiki's delivery service, like eventually, I mean, losing your touch, and in this case, losing your witch powers, or like Heidi having suffering from homesickness, suffering for yeah for homesickness, or like or yeah, or like yeah, what else? Yeah, or like my neighbor Totoro. I mean, having a mother that is sick. I mean, those buggers are really annoying. It's fine because they're bugs anyway. Will you die already? Yeah. Yeah, those little buggers. Anyway, they keep moving around like they got poop in their pants and they're not wearing any pants. Just yeah, I'll do it anyway. Again, like my neighbor Totoro having a mother that is sick, or like Anne of Anne of Green Gables having doing studies, or like again sometimes yeah, again, or like being teased in school, or like yeah, again, Cottagecore is not without conflict, but or like yeah, or being accused of stealing a jewel. Of course, not able to have a picnic. Yeah, and since that Anne is young and a bit of an emotional wreck, or like sometimes like that. Well, again, yeah. Now again, College Code can have like fantasy elements, like examples like again Kiki's Delivery Service, or like My Neighbor Totoro, like yeah, I mean like like My Neighbor Totoro, like having a well, My Neighbor Totoro being this magic creatures that can adjust to nature, or like again Kiki's Delivery Service being a witch, or like the movements being well having a mystical creature, or like yeah, or characters not being I mean human characters. But again, usually when it's called Cottagecore, it usually once again focus more on the mundanity of life. Yes, yeah. Either it has fantasy elements or even has like drama. It usually is more like again the simple growing pains of again of mundane life. Yeah, it's another thing, and of course, not saying that Cottagecore is automatically good. I mean, however. Because again, Cottagecore has to rely on more. Always have to rely on more or less. It's more. Again, they can't just rely on like heavy conflicts. I may already said that, but or like yeah, like heavy conflict. Like I mean, I have a villain to stop. I mean, even if they are villains in Cottagecore, usually again it's more like a more. Maybe like a school bully, or like or a snotty it's not a snotty neighbor, or a snooty neighbor or something like that. Yeah. Again, and most time the villains are always like I guess the villains, if you want to call it that, may have more again have more mundane have more mundane reasons why they're the antagonist. Like, yeah, again, maybe are more allowed to have like yeah. How do I say this without stumbling like a madman? I feel like they're allowed to be more grounded. I mean, I feel like they're allowed to have more. they're allowed to have more simple but believable motivations. What the way whatever antagonism they might potentially have. Like yeah, yes, it's allowed to have more grounded. I mean yeah. Again, another thing. Now here's another thing. Like maybe from an outsider perspective, Cottagecore is more like a unique setting, like more like a it's more like a again like a strange niche that they don't want to understand. But guess what? Stories about Cottagecore still needs to focus on the fundamentals of like pacing, characters, or yeah, pacing, like yeah, or drama or conflicts. It still needs to focus on the fundamentals. I mean, we can't just have a Cottagecore aesthetic automatically be good. I mean, they aren't always created equally. So with everything like with again with every genre like yeah, like action, drama, horror, they can't just have those elements and be good. Same thing goes with Cottagecore, like yeah, or slice of life, which I always usually called in, well, which I usually called it before I knew what the word Cottagecore was actually was. Yeah. Oh no, there's still one pesky. Anyway, but anyway. Oh, yeah, these things are from hell. Anyway, hold on, yeah. Do I have all four of them? Yeah, I have all of them. Yeah, again. What else? Yeah, heck, because one of the best works, like, I mean, like, the best, yeah, again, like Studio Ghibli, like Neo Totoro, like or like Kiki's Delivery Service. Those stories fit in the Cottagecore label. Has the can have the Cottagecore label, yeah. And most people think that Studio Ghibli is one of the best story, one of the greatest story, the greatest studio of all time. For some. Many people will claim that, yeah. Again, guess what? A few of them fit the Cottagecore label, yeah. And heck, Heidi and Green Abels was yeah, or actually a precursor for Studio Ghibli, or at least have like a strong affiliation with Studio Ghibli, yes. Which gives it like a very strong pedigree, yeah. Anyway, I'm getting slobbered. But anyway, yeah. That's why I like Cottagecore so much, yeah. Again, yeah, what else? Again, yeah, it's just like a weird aesthetic, like a weird niche. These are stories that be told, and some of them are literally some of the best stories ever written. Yeah. Now, yeah, what else? Again, culture had to rely on less is more. I mean, yeah, and again, ask me, one of the best stories usually rely. Usually, or ones that take less and make more out of it, yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna stop now. I think I said enough. But anyway, and remember, stay safe and goodbye.